In today's video, we will be looking at how to use the construct and modify commands in visual lighting to create complex shapes such as domes and cones. To start, we will open up an exterior project. Once the design environment is loaded, we want to make sure we have snap mode turned on as well as endpoint OSnap. Let's first take a look at how to create a cone. From the Home tab, choose the Line Background tool, and then in the command window in the bottom left corner, enter the coordinates 0, 0, 0. Then press enter. For the next coordinates, we're going to enter 10, 0, 0, and then we will right-click to complete the command. This line measures 10 feet, and we will use it as the radius for the circle that we will construct. Now that we have our radius, we will go up to Construct tab and then choose the solid circle. Because we have endpoint OSnap on, we will be able to use this background object to draw our solids. First, we will choose the left endpoint, which will be the center of our circle. Next, we'll move out until we have reached the second endpoint and then left click again. This will create a circle with a radius of 10 feet. Next, we will select the background line tool. Using the endpoint OSnap again, we will select the center point, and then for the next coordinate, we'll enter 0, 0, 10, and then right click to complete the command. As you can see, this has given us the height that we are going to have for our cone, which in this case is 10 feet. Next, we'll select the Modify tab and click the arrow under Array to choose Polar. We want to make sure that angular separation is selected. We will enter 10 for the angle and 2 for the quantity. We are going to select the radius line that we have drawn with a left click and then right click to complete the selection. When we set the base point, we will click in the center using the endpoint OSnap. This has created a second line that is 10 degrees from the original. Next, we're going to create the first of the solids that will make up the cone. I'm going to select the southeast view, zoom in some, and then go to the Construct tab. Choose Solid Polygon, and then we will use the endpoint OSnap again to select the 3 points that will make up the side. Once this is done, you can right-click to complete the action. Finally, we will disable the background lines by clicking twice on the pencil icon on the background layer. We'll go back into a plan view and then click on the Modify tab and choose Array Polar again. This time we will choose Angular Extent. For our angle, we are going to enter 360, and for our quantity, we will enter 36. We will left click to select the solid, then right click to complete the selection. For the base point, once again, we'll use the center point. Changing back to a southeast view, you can see that we have completed construction on our cone. If you go up to the View tab and choose Shaded, you can see what it will look like as a solid object. Using similar principles to that of the cone, we will now construct the dome. We've again selected an exterior project, but this time we'll click the arrow underneath the Calculate button to change to a direct and interreflected calculation method. We will start by selecting the line background and enter the coordinates of 0, 0, 0, and then for the next coordinates entering 10, 0, 0. Right click to complete the command. Next, after making sure that we have the endpoint OSnap turned on, we will go to Construct and then Solid Circle. We will choose the 2 points of our line to construct our circle. Next, we will go to the Modify tab and choose Array Polar. This time, however, we will enter an angle of 10 and a quantity of 10. This creates 9 additional segments, 10 degrees apart, for a total of 90 degrees. We will choose the line, right-click to select it, and then left-click to set the base point. Next, we'll go into a southeast view, select the Rotate command, and then select all of the lines we have created inside the circle. Right-click to complete the selection. We want it to rotate around the x-axis. Currently, the XY plane is active, so the object is rotating around the inactive z-axis. The Tab key will change the active working plane. Press the Tab key until the ZY plane is active, rotating the object on the now inactive x-axis. What we're going to do is go down to the command line and enter 90. This will have our lines going straight up. Next, we will return to a plan view, go back to Array Polar, and enter an angle of 10 and a quantity of 2. From here, we will select the lines, right-click to complete the selection, and then left-click on the base point to complete the action. When we change back to a southeast view, we can rotate around to see our lines. Next, we will go into the Construct tab and then choose Solid Polygon. For this, I like to turn off Snap Mode. We'll zoom in some on the drawing and then use the Endpoint OSnap to construct our solid objects. We can repeat a command by right-clicking in the design environment. Do this until you have completed all the solid objects all the way to the very top. We have now completed one section of our dome. We will disable the background objects by clicking the pencil icon twice and then return to a plan view. Select Zoom All, then choose the Modify command and Array Polar. This time we will choose Angular Extent. Our angle will be 360 and our quantity will be 36. Left-click to select all of the solids except for the circle, then right-click to complete the selection process. Left-click in the center for the base point. With that, we have completed the construction of a dome. One final note. The renderer in Visual has an option called Approximate Curved Surfaces, which is turned on by default. Here, I've inserted some lights into our project. When we click Render, as the renderer does additional passes, it will smooth out the shape of our dome or cone. This concludes this instructional video. Please send any questions or comments to the Visual Support Center at support@visual-3d.com.